Can't get a game. Shit, I got some change on me. Look into my eyes, moving it right. I might just pay the fee. She's cash please. Yeah. She got a way of making the block free. Cash please. Yeah. Can't get a game. Shit, I got some change on me. Look into my eyes, moving it right. I might just pay the fee. She's cash please.
And we're back. It's your boy Dr. Shep with 1.0 coming back across the track once again, my friend. I've walked on water, walked on land. I got kings and queens that want to shake my hand. Who am I? The doctor. Man, y'all, welcome to tonight's show. Got a few announcements, you dig? We have secured the Pines Theater in Lufkin, Texas for the Funny Bone comedy tour to come there on July the 13th. Now, you Lufkinites, you Nacogdoches, Corrigan, Livingston, and all surrounding areas in East Texas. This is a ticket that y'all want to get because we're going to be having a live filming. It'll be Dr. Shep's first special. And I decided to bring it to Lufkin. There was no other place for me to do it but hometown. So we'll be coming to Lufkin. I'm trying to get Brother Man. I spoke with him today. We're trying to work it out to where he can come and do his annual show. But if we don't have Brother Man, you can best believe it's going to be jam-packed with funny comedians. I, for myself, guarantee your laughter. So you ain't got to worry about them. It's going to be my special. So y'all be there basically to see Dr. Shep do his first comedy special in 30 years. Now, I did Comic View. And I don't count that being a special. You know, that was my first professional television debut. And since then, you know, a lot of work has been done. A lot of living has been done. So I think it's really time for me to do my special. I have so many stories to tell and so much laughter to share with y'all. So remember, July the 13th, the Funny Bone and Dr. Shep is coming to town to film a live special. So I'm going to keep y'all updated on who will be joining me in the special. And I'll keep you updated on how you can get your tickets. So remember that July the 13th is going down, Lufkin, at the Pines Theater. The Funny Bone is returning to town with Lufkin's own Dr. Shep. Believe that, and I'll be bringing some of the funniest comedians that you will ever see with me. Guaranteed that. Man, welcome to tonight's show. This is our second show of the season. Oh, it's our third show of the season. Correction. This is our third show of the season. And I ask the spirits every show to give me something valid to talk about. So when I asked that, and when I asked of them tonight, I got a reply back. And it was, what about life? That's the title of tonight's show. What about life? And how it was brought to me is that seems as if, now I don't know if this will make sense to you, that we too busy living to actually live life. Meaning that what's life to us has changed. Or has it? Now, I know life for me has changed, what life is. It used to be, traveling around the country, telling jokes, and, living free, doing what I wanted to do. But life has changed. Because I was living, but I was not living life. We often mistake that with the things that we do. And we often mistake that on how we choose our purposes in life. Are you living life, or are you just living? Let's take a look at that. I want you to ask yourself on a daily basis, What is it that you do that makes life for you? It's getting up in the morning. If you have children, taking care of them, getting them off to school, feeding them and stuff, and most likely you're heading off to work. And we all got a work life. You understand? That can be considered as life. You go to work and you live your work life, and then you come home and you live your home life. And while you're at home, you dibble and you dabble in private life. You understand? So that's a lot of living. But is it living life? Now, I can use myself as an example. I always do. I'm always willing to take the blunt of whatever blow that I put out first. We all have to take it. So, I thought I was living life, telling jokes and being, people clapping their hands and me feeling the euphoria of somebody, you know, uh, enjoying what I was offering. And that felt like life to me. But when that was over, pretty much my life was over. When the microphone cut off, that was it. Life was over. And I would leave the stage and I would wander into the unknown. Because that was life to me that I just finished 30 minutes of. I thought I was living for 30 minutes on that microphone. Or less than that, 15. And I considered that to be alive. I mean, boy, I was alive. You hear me? But soon, as I said, hey, I'm Dr. Shep, and I'm out, so was my life. And that, feeling that I felt while I thought I was living, I still had it after I walked off the stage, but it was diminishing quickly. Very quickly. The closer I got to my home, the more of that feeling that I lost. Because turns out I wasn't living life on stage. I was driving back to it. And I realized that. And it felt differently than what it felt when I was on stage, called myself living. You dig? Felt totally different. I didn't know what to do in driving home, living, being hit with what real life is. Didn't know what to do when I was going to get home. I was going to watch some TV, probably, smoke me a little something and get the munchies and go to bed. And does that sound like much life to you? To have, adulation for 10, 15, 30 minutes, and you say you're alive. I'm alive. Like Frankenstein, I'm alive. I'm alive. Yeah. That's what we want. And that's how we live. And I'm just asking, what about life like? Not the one that we have to go and, show up every month for. The light bill, the rent, these badass kids, hub. Because I realized that there's a life that runs parallel and under that we just totally ignore every day. Because we have been fooled that life comes from your bank account. Or life comes from the Mercedes or Range Rover or Bugatti car dealership. Or that life comes from a purse. Or that life comes from what you can acquire that gives you the appearance of doing well. And we sacrifice things for this life that we think life is. We judge people for the life we think we live in. Now, is that life to you? I'm guilty. It was life for me for a while. I'm not going to lie. I chased the dream, had hopes of money. I didn't mind a few fancy things. But I gave 30 years of my life doing that. That's a long time. Chasing what I thought was going to be my life. Turns out, I had a life all that time. Now, whether I enjoyed it, or whether I had good experiences, or whether I had money, or if I fell in love, or if I, lost, or whatever, I had life already. But I discounted that and picked up the assumption that what I was looking for, what I was seeking, was life. Living. What do you do that's all yours that make you feel alive? That don't have a name brand on it. That don't have a price tag. That doesn't have a department store or a website. What do you do that makes you feel alive? Me, myself, I'm a nature boy, a country boy from Lufkin, Texas. So, I like to bring life forth by way of planting vegetables and fruit. You see? And that's life to me. And I can see it. And I benefit from it. Not a financial benefit, which it's possible to be financial. But I can sell those tomatoes. I can sell those strawberries. I can sell those lettuce. I can sell that radish. I can sell those green onions. But bringing it forth, putting my hands in the ground and extracting it, taking it in the house and washing it off, having contact with what I created or what the Lord created and enabled me to bring forth. That's life to me. And it's proven because I just brought life forth. That's living to me. Half the stuff that we call living, it won't produce anything for you. All it does is take away. When you get dressed, put on your jewelry, go out to the club, have a good time. Most of the times, that part of life has taken away from you. Because it costs to get in the club, the drinks is higher than a motherfucker, and if you do get a woman, yeah, you're going to pay something. So you went out and thought you had a good time living life, but you actually were taken away from yourself. And you enjoyed it. So when you live that life to go back and do that again because you thought that you found out what life is. No. Life is very easy. Whether you believe that or not. The hardest part is getting up in the morning. The big miracle is getting up in the morning. And if you begin to look at life like that, that when you woke up, that was the best thing that could happen to you that day. I don't care if you won something. I don't care if you found some money on the ground. I don't care if somebody gave you a car. If you got accepted into Princeton. I don't care. When you woke up that morning, before all these material things became important to you, before you wiped the matter out your eyes, the miracle had already happened. Now, how many of us recognize that? Before you get up and walk out the door and so-called, that's when your day starts. That's what we say. I got to get my day started. Man, that already got started, cuz you on the late show. And you ought to be shouting and singing and dancing then. Not waiting till the weekend so you can go spend all your money and then you living. No, you living when your eyes open. If you don't believe me, walk to any cemetery and ask anybody in there. Just walk in there and holler out, how you living? I'm wrong. Yeah. You want to know if you alive, cuz? Walk in the cemetery and ask them folk, how you living? And you might get an answer. Because some of them folks forgot about what life really was too. You might get an answer. But before then, I just want you to contemplate what life is for you. And is that really life? Or is it a construct that we have adopted? Man, we done lost family, we done lost friends, we done lost girlfriends, we done lost boyfriends, you done lost a husband, you done lost wives, you done lost children, you done lost all kind of shit. Because of whatever your perception of life is. And that's something. And we never turn around and look at ourselves. We'll continue to point the finger. They did this and they did that and they did this and they did that. That's why I'm the right person in this. Because I was living life. I was working. I was taking care of the kids. I was doing. Okay. But when was you living? Because them sound like jobs to me. It don't sound like living. I can go back in the day and remember my grandmothers and their sisters and my grandaunties and all that. Man, they had like, you know, I guess all you could do was like, drink and have sex back then. Because they had like 12 kids, 14 kids, 18 kids, 20 kids, 25. No, for real. With less, much less of what we have available to us today. And them folk made it. Because I'm here. Them folks did that. Because my brothers and sisters, they here. My dad and them still here. Thanks to my grandmother them living. And what I mean by that, there was too many times they didn't go, went to the grocery store. Because food was really available out there in the garden. Because them folks was living. They were bringing forth life to sustain life. You people in your dreams and your wants bring forth nothing but calamity, man. Let's just say it. And I'm saying, when I speak, I'm not talking individually. Us as a collective. Because you can't do anything by yourself. If you could, motherfucker, why you ain't done it? If your way of life is so much different than the next person that makes you feel like you're doing the right thing and you got the answer, where your book at? Where your classes that I could, sign up for? There are none. Because you are basing your life on the construct that the rest of us based it on. Until we wake up. And then we ask ourselves, man, what happened to my life? What life you talking about? All the motherfucking years you went to work? Thought you was getting ahead? All them years you fronted in front of your friends, knowing every bill you had was in the goddamn pink? Going out there and making looking like your kids is better than anybody else's. And them motherfuckers is a bunch of criminals. What's life to you? And how much of you gave to it? I'll speak up. You don't have to. I'll speak up. I gave at least 45. Well, I break that down to 30. Because when I was young, a kid, just catching Mighty Mouse and Popeye, that was my life. Spectre Man, the Autobots. That was my life. You understand me? But when I became an adult, those things affected me because that's what I thought what life was. The things that I saw on television. We all did. Nobody's innocent of that. When MC Hammer came out, that proved that. Women and men running around wearing some motherfucking parachute pants, man. Everybody was guilty of mimicking what we thought life was. A lot of y'all went into college thinking that was life. A lot of y'all went into drugs, selling drugs, thinking that was life. A lot of y'all just went into nothing and was okay with life. So tonight I'm just urging. I'm not going to give you an example of what's good for you. I can only give you an example of what's good for me. As soon as I recognize that the life that I was trying to live was unobtainable, then all those 30 years and all that, whatever I went through and all that was a question of why. When I didn't need almost 90% of the things that I was out to get. And almost 90% of those things harmed me. Put me in positions where I didn't like life at all. Yes, I know I'm not the only one. Didn't like life at all. Some of y'all feel that way right now because you're still chasing what you already have. You woke up with life this morning. And when that happens, man, it's true that anything is possible. I remember my dad used to say, still say, what a difference a day makes. And how true that is. Because it takes just about that long for you to figure that you ain't been living life. Not the one that your ass dreamed about when you was a kid. Not the one that you talked about with your best friends. Not the one that you promised your grandmother that you would see through. Because we chase life. And why is you running behind something that's already caught up with you? Why are you chasing it? It's right there. Feel that breath? As far as I know, that's the best part of life. Y'all hear that laugh? Did it cost you anything? Was it some bells and whistles? Was it a DJ? Was it a pop-up shop? No. I just showed you a miracle. In your face. And that's life. Not what you decide to do in that breath. Not what kind of filth that comes forth out of that breath. No kind of lies or side truths you can tell to match that inhale and that exhale. Now, many of you, y'all have to forgive the noise here. I'm out here at the Honeybee Lounge, and we're outside, so we're live. Y'all getting to hear the real sounds of the neighborhood. I am not in the studio. I'm out here in life. Can you dig it? So anything is possible. Just said that, right? So, you have to kind of like assess yourself. And most of us, we begin to assess ourselves when COVID happened. Because you couldn't go to work. You had no choice but to see what real life was. Real life without having a job. Real life have to depend on each other. Real life that you back in one place again. And it used to be that way. We used to have dinner at the table and all that. Watch TV together. And we were shocked by us being thrown back into that. Because we were outside chasing life. And forgot about the life in our homes. We forgot about it to the point where we didn't like each other in the times that we were all together. Ain't that something? And that used to be the best time when families got together. But look like life didn't even attack the family because they no longer recognize. Because the old heads are gone. The grandmothers, the pawpaws, the nanas, the meemons, they are gone. So that life that you're wishing for, you actually have to pick up and you have to be meemon now. You got to be pawpaw now. But y'all too busy. Even though if you in the pawpaw meemon nana age, you still out there twerking. Because that's life. You're back, you done pulled your skirt out of the closet from 1963 and put it back on. And because that's what life is now. I'm not down here. Everybody fine, everybody fucking. Okay? But is that life? I can't even say we doing what we can. I think it's more or less we doing what we want to. Because of COVID, all of us should have realized that our lives are only important to us. And that life that you were living going to work for your boss for 30 years, 40 years, and they fire you for retirement, that was life to you. Now it's three years and a wake up. Have you learned anything? Has your trust grown for the life that you were trying to live? Or have you began to understand what's really been going on in that life that you went to college for? Left your home and went to Nebraska when you stayed in Texas to gain an education so you could have a good life. Live the American dream. But who can dream? Or who want to dream? Now that life is attainable at Walmart. That life is attainable on Temu. Life is attainable at Yang Sing's Hair Emporium. Over there off West Belford in the hood over there. You can attain life over there. You can attain life at the club. You can attain it at the jewelry store. You can attain life at. I'm lying to you, but that's what that's what they be done to us all. So I figure it'll work for me. I'm lying to you. You cannot find life in those places because it turns out because you had life, you were able to go to those places. So it turns, seems to me that life itself is living. That's without all the bells and whistles and pretty lights and shiny things. Life itself is living. Now, what you choose to do when you wake up in the morning, if you decide that you're going to help another person, that might be life to you. Not a bad life to have. When you wake up in the morning, on the other side, you probably going to go and rob some folks. That's life to you. You wake up, got a day off, you're going to go spend 8 hours at the beauty shop, that's life to you. 8 hours. What could a person do in 8 hours? But if it's life to you, you're doing the right thing. You're doing exactly what you should do. And all I'm saying is to reevaluate it. Just take a minute and reevaluate these things that we call life. And when you reevaluate them, I always use a scale. Write it down and see what it costs you. And ask yourself, is your life worth that? Is your life worth all the nice things? All the pretty women or the handsome man? All the new cars when they first come out that year, you got it. Is that life to you? Or is it's just the easiest thing? A lot of us do it because it's just the easiest thing. We either scared or just don't want to experience what real life is. And I don't know why. I don't know why nature is you know, it's not a incentive to live life. Especially what it brings forth. Nature brings forth nourishment to us by way of the sun. And we give respect to none of that. And it's because we want to live life, we'll go cut down those fruit trees, those tomatoes, to put what we consider real life on it, a nice home. Did you get that? You'll deprive yourself of food for a home to go to the store and buy the same food that you cut down that was. So that's life, though. We give and we take. Or we take and we take. That's what it seems like. We take it and we take and we take. And that's life to us. People like myself, when we take, we try to put back. And I only take what I can eat. But because I consider myself, living life, I can go right out into my garden and get what I need. Because the life that I'm living that don't really, you know, need a lot of money. Tomato seeds don't cost that much. But they sure bring forth valuable things that sustains life. So when I start considering what living is, I start considering what the benefit is of the things that I do. And if those things don't bring or provide you with something that makes life easier or better or tolerable, then you're not living life. You're living the construct. So we have to say that. I can tell you, yeah, man, I'm living today. And I'm learning every day on how to live better. Or if I was doing the do, hey man, I'm living the construct. Fuck what you talking about. I got light bill, got the kids, I got this and I got that. We feel as if there's no other way. It's either this or it's either that. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You have a universe that provides. All you got to do is ask. When you get to asking, what about life? Don't ask me. Ask the universe. And it'll answer. And it won't only answer. It'll provide you with help. It will bring something forth that is beneficial to you. And if you think I'm joking, try it. I'm not too much into daring, but I dare you to try it. To ask the universe for what your needs is. Some of us ask Jesus, and that's okay if that's what your thing is, if that provides for you. But isn't Jesus a part of our universe? And ain't his daddy the one that made it? So I'm just saying, you might want to snatch from the universe your needs instead of running around thinking that you're going to get them out of this life, when it's really the next life that you should be preparing for. Because if the magic is right, then we all won't have to do this again. And you'll surely repeat the life that you lived before until you figure that one out. Then you get to move on. So let's figure our lives out, y'all. Why must we die and come back to do what we can do today? Never put off tomorrow what you could do today. A lot of us, life done shot us a bad. Whew, I'm one of them. So I always say I'm not only a spokesperson, I am a client. And the wine is excellent here in this life. So a lot of us are not living lives because we're chasing other people. You know, you might feel as if somebody's cool. You might feel like that they got it going on. They might have some things going on, and you want to be be in their company. And sometimes that'll take a big part of your life. Friendship. I know people who have, you know, been friends for a long time. But it's because when one figure out what real life is and the other is in a material life that you can purchase, then that's a conflict there. I'm not saying that we would not no longer be friends, but on that road we have nothing in common. So why would I waste my life? The life that I'm finding out. Why would I waste that? I've lived that life before several times. But this real life is the first experience for me. And I love it. I love not getting up and not have to think about yesterday. I love getting up and looking at what beauty lies beside me. Ooh, life. Man. And that's all before the sun come up. You dig? Man, I sit and I watch the sun because I'm ready for life. My wife will tell you, I got my hammer and my nail in my hand at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm ready to bring something forth, because that's why I'm put here. Not to run around like pretty. My fingernail done, my toe done. Pretty. I'm clean in the motherfucker. I'm living life. Okay. If it's good for you, it's good for me. My grandmother said, if you like it, I love it. But I beg you to reconsider. Read some literature on the subject. Shout out to Andre 3000 on that one. Yeah, man. I urge you to start living life. I urge you to take your shoes off and walk out into the grass and ground yourself. You dig? These are the things that get you reconnected to what life really is, because we have been taken away. We have been totally taken away what something that is natural to us, the melanated people. It's natural for you to do these things. It's not only natural, it's beneficial for you to do these things to your health, to your spirit health. And I urge you to start learning these things. And then when you actually see what life is, yeah, we all have to do what we have to do, but you will do it with a better understanding. You see, when you were willing to stay overwork, when your boss talking about some couple of extra hours that ain't paying a motherfucking thing anyway, no, go home. Be with your family. Because that's life. Not your job. That's where you go to make money so you can eat, so you can have heat and cool in your home. That's not life. And it's not a good life. Because somewhere besides America, somebody has just what we have, but they have it naturally and it don't cost them anything. My wife told me she went out of the U.S. and all the fresh food, I mean, out minutes fresh, that you and I would go to Papa Do's and pay arm and a leg for. And it's packaged. See what I'm saying? What's life for you is not life for everyone else. And us as Americans, a lot of us don't know that unless we travel abroad. Because we've been kept in the dark. And we've been told what life is. And they called it the American dream. But as far as I know, it was only one group of folks got to live that. To date. With a few, peppers scattered here and there. And they might as well be white. See? So, I urge you to start lessening the amount of time you giving to this life you call a life. I urge you to open your eyes a little bit wider and see what you've been either walking on or passing by or just totally not paying attention at all to it. There's a whole world around you that you would probably enjoy. But we've been trained to have like tunnel vision, to only see the life that they taught us in school, that they taught us in college, that they had our parents teach us before all of that. See, our parents was a part of it too, because they had to live that life also. But they just did it a little bit better than we did, because we were giving all the tools of failure. Yes. Our parents didn't have any tools. They had to make tools. You understand? And they had to make tools that were good enough to handle large families with no computers, sometimes no televisions. So they were on hands all the time, and that was life for them. To raise their children the best they could, to have them fed, clothed, and a roof over their heads. Now, do you hate your mother? Do you hate your daddy because they did it that way? I don't think so. I think you wish that they would have raised your kids. Because you see, now you see that your methods have caused so much damage. That life you want to live, where your kids had everything, all the new tennis shoes and, all that there, how they working out for you? that life. How's it working out for you all those years you went to college and, made people feel inferior to you because you did so? How's that working out for you now? Because if you were living life then, you got to be really living life now, the way things are. We got two major wars going on. We got two inadequate presidents fighting for the same spot. You got danger for melanated people at an all-time high. You got the demographics of America changing because Mexico is coming here. Well, not coming here. They coming back because part of this was theirs, y'all. I'm a fair man. You got them coming home. You got food, grocery, shelter, automobiles that are at ridiculous prices. Are you still trying to live that? Or have you awakened to what's really real? So these are the questions that I pose to you tonight. See? Because if somebody wouldn't have brought it to my attention, then I probably would still be there. Wherever there is. In misery, in depression, in jail, or in unhappiness, I'd have been somewhere if I didn't wake up to what life really is. And I suggest you do the same before you squander a life that otherwise could have done something great. And if you didn't do anything great, you just could have realized your own potential. And that's good enough for me. I don't require you to have a big house. I don't require you to have a beautiful girlfriend or a model boyfriend. I don't require you to have all these things that we consider makes us good in this life. Because this life that I used to live didn't belong to me. That belonged to Mr. Charlie. And he told me how to live it. You dig? That didn't belong to Derek Anson Shepard. And it took me years to get my life, not back, to get my life began. See, a lot of us we misspeak on our spirit, you dig? I'm not getting my life back. I'm experiencing my life for the first time. And I have to tell everyone, come on in, because the water is good. Come on in. The water is good out here in real life. You dig? Some of the wrinkles and stuff go out your face. Your hair stop turning gray. Your body feels renewed. So does your mind. Clarity begins to set in. The clouds begin to split. And I know all of us has been very cloudy. Don't know what the fuck to do. So my suggestion is stop trying to look for something to do and start living real life. Whatever you are deprived of, you can produce yourself. If food is high, get out there in that garden. 6-7 weeks, you got beans, you got corn, you got tomatoes, you got onion, you got beets, you got everything. Gas too high. Go read you a few books and get you some corn and make you some gas, man. Ethanol is what they call it. Electricity is everywhere. Two magnets, several batteries, you got some electricity. It's just that we don't want to. because that's not a part of life. Reaping what the universe has for us is not part of life. That's not how they told. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And that's what they've made us believe. The very thing that sets us apart from the animals, we don't even respect. Even the animals respect the sun and the rain because they know what it provides them. They know when the rainy season come, we finna eat cub, caribou, rabbits, everything. They even understand the workings of this universe. So when they say we are higher intelligence than animals, I'm not sure about that. We do some pretty dumb shit, and the same shit we do, we complain about it. You cut all the natural food down. Man, food is too high. Well, bitch, you cut all yours down. Man, it's my prize, ho. Doubling up because you were ignorant. You wanted a nice house. You wanted a long driveway. You wanted this here and you wanted that there. Well, we had to take that to give you what you wanted in your life. And you wanted that. And that's how life happens. The very thing that you wanted for is going to be the very thing that break your back. I want to make 106 figures a year. Ooh, bitch. You'll be lucky to have an ass and a mouth when that's over. Yeah. You'll be lucky to have an ass and a mouth when that's over. hmm So what about life, y'all? Are you living it? Are you taking your time and sniffing your wine and swirling it around and letting it open it up and then you sip it? Are you doing that? Or your ass drinking because you got to go to work tomorrow? I'm not laughing at you, man. That's wonderful that you go to work because you're a provider. But because you work, don't mean that you don't live. And that's the point that I'm trying to make to you all. You've thought that your life has to be thrown away for work and, for something. When do you take time to see life, smell the roses, because there's still some planet out there. There's still things out there that don't cost anything. A lot of things. But we are not interested in that. Because for it to be valuable, it has to have a high price on it. Never knowing that the price that you're going to pay is that you're going to leave this world never living. And that's the whole reason you are here. A lot of us think we come here to play baseball. A lot of us think we come here to preach. A lot of us come, no, you come here to live. And if you're truly living, then you're just as valuable as a baseball player or a preacher because you're living. Meaning that you're pulling from the universe. And what you pull from the universe, you share. Because the universe don't give you no lies. The universe only feeds you the things that it's made of. And we are all small universes. So don't disrespect your DNA by continuing to think that you can make life happen. But life has already happened. Somebody took care of that for you and continue to take care of that for you every morning or every night or in between that you open your eyes and you suck in oxygen. Best thing that could happen to you in your life right then. So don't get up talking about woe is me. I gotta go. No. You've been taught wrong. You should get up and skip all the way to work and sing your ass off. But instead, you feed yourself negative feelings about your life. Nobody has to do it for you. You feed yourself more negative energy about your life than the law allows. Tell me I'm lying. You will even project that and ask somebody else. What's wrong with you? You are alive and able. But I get it. In order to, we have to coexist with each other. It just turns out coexisting has been the worst problem we've had, y'all. Coexisting with y'all is it hurts my heart, you see. Oh, it hurts my heart. And we continue to try to coexist with each other in the sickness that we're in. No, we need to stop. And us as melanated people, we need to turn our heads to what real life is. You can only imagine how our grandmothers and our grandfathers are feeling, the sacrifice they gave to get us here, to see us in this condition. So what is life to you? Just another day for you to try to obtain material things? Just another day for you to rise the ladder of success? Just another day, period, that you are miserable about life. No, my friend, don't do that to yourself. Because as far as we know, we only have one, but I got a secret. See? I got a secret. I'll tell you next week. I ain't gonna tell you tonight. I'll tell you next week. So that life that you only think you have one of. No, my brother. 10 times out of 10, you've been here before. And 10 times out of 10, you're suffering the same thing that you suffered the last life you were here. So let's break that spell, y'all, that we all have been up under. To think that things that have glue and screws and wood and steel defines us, defines our life. There's no card that can define the miracle of me. There's no jury that could outshine the miracle of me. There's no white men on paper that of me. There's not a currency that they've made that's more valuable than. There it is, y'all. I'm y'all host, Dr. Shep, man, and I don't know if I went an hour or went 2 hours, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and it's like the spirits always come to me with something, and I always bring it to y'all, and I hope you hear it. You dig? Because it's coming from right here. Because I'm living, and I also want you to live. You don't want to be in a world alone with a bunch of dead people. Can you dig it? I want to bring my brothers and sisters alive. And I want to, give you a taste of what I've been experiencing. And I've experienced the worst, the absolute worst. And I've yet still stand to suffer some more worse. But today, that's not my concern. Because today I have life. And as long as life is in me, I'll try to exert the positive. Yes, I make mistakes sometimes, but I'm quickly straightened by my experiences and by what has happened in my life. And you too can experience this here. You don't need no 1999 commercial. You don't need no therapist or none of that. All you need is to back up on what you think your life is, and you'll begin to see what you've been missing. Man, it's always wonderful to speak with my people out there here on 1.0. Thank y'all for joining Dr. Shep and this doctor session here at the doctor's office here at the Honeybee Lounge. And man, I am looking so forward to this comedy show that we're doing in Lufkin, and we're going to be doing a live filming now. It's going to be Dr. Shep's first comedy special. Stay tuned to get all the information about the comics that are coming, about the filming, about the times, and you already know the place. So I want to see all y'all there. You dig? I want you to put it on your calendar, July the 13th. That'll be a day after my birthday. So we'll be doing a whole lot of celebration, but I'll be so excited to be doing my special, my first special in Lufkin, Texas, hometown. So go ahead and start spreading the word. Dr. Shep, you dig, is on his way back to Lufkin, along with friends and a whole lot of good entertainment and a whole lot of good vibes. I'm so excited. It's been a while since I did it's been about a year and a half since I did the Pines Theater. And that show, I was working with somebody else. So this is going to be totally Dr. Shep's show. You dig? Won't be no singing, won't be no dancing, won't be all that. It's straight comedy, straight good vibes. Man, and until then, I'll see y'all next Friday here on 1.0. And as always, coming back across the track once again, my friend. I've walked on water, I've walked on land. I got kings and queens that want to shake my hand. Who am I? The Doctor. Big shout out to my mother company, Black Earth Inc., and my producer Q, and my co-producer, as always, Miss Amanda. It's your boy, Dr. Shep, at 1.0, and I'm saying I love you, and you can't do nothing about it. And we're out.
Can't get a game for free. Shit, I got some change on me. Look into my eyes, moving it right. I might just pay the fee. She's cash me. Yeah. She got a way of making a block free.